Empaths don't burn out from giving too much love, but from receiving too little. Empathy, it's what makes us human. It allows us to understand, to connect, to feel the emotions of others as if they were our own. But what happens when empathy goes too far? When caring becomes consuming? When compassion turns into self-destruction? This is the dark side of empathy, a place where kindness hurts and where emotional sensitivity can quietly destroy the very person who feels it. 1. The beauty and the burden of empathy. At its core, empathy is beautiful. It's the bridge between isolation and understanding. It helps us comfort the grieving, connect with the broken, and create harmony in a chaotic world. But empathy is also a double-edged sword. Too much of it, and you begin to absorb other people's pain as if it were your own. The heart that feels deeply is powerful, but it's also fragile. 2. The psychology of over-empathy. Over-empathy, sometimes called empathic distress, occurs when your compassion stops being helpful and starts becoming harmful to you. Your brain's mirror neurons, which allow you to feel with someone, begin firing excessively. Your nervous system literally mirrors their suffering. You cry their tears, you carry their stress, you lose track of where they end, and you begin. And this is how emotional exhaustion begins. Not from your own pain, but from drowning in someone else's. 3. The empath's trap. Here's the paradox. The more empathy you have, the more likely you are to attract people who feed on it. Manipulators, energy vampires, emotionally unavailable people who crave your compassion but never return it. They sense your kindness and they use it. You listen when no one else will. You forgive when no one else should. And you stay long after your peace has left the room. Because you believe that leaving someone in pain makes you a bad person. But sometimes, staying destroys you more than leaving ever could. 4. Why over-empathy happens. So why do some people care too much? Why do empaths find it so hard to let go? Here's what psychology reveals. A. Childhood conditioning. Many over-empaths grew up in chaotic homes where they had to sense moods to survive, and they learned to manage other people's emotions before their own. B. Fear of rejection. You care too much because love to you means approval. If you're not useful, you fear being abandoned. C. Identity through helping. You feel valuable when you're saving others. Helping gives you purpose, even when it drains you. D. Guilt and responsibility. You mistake empathy for obligation. You think feeling someone's pain means you must fix it. But empathy was never meant to be a cage. It was meant to be a bridge. And a bridge must have boundaries, or it collapses under its own weight. 5. Signs you're caring too much. Ask yourself, do you constantly feel emotionally tired, even without conflict? Do you attract people who need saving? Do you feel guilty for saying no? Do you carry the mood of others long after the conversation ends? Do you find it easier to forgive others than yourself? If these sound familiar, your empathy may have crossed from healthy connection into emotional self-neglect. 6. The hidden consequences. When empathy becomes excessive, it leads to burnout, anxiety, and even depression. Neuroscientists call this compassion fatigue, the gradual erosion of your emotional energy from constant exposure to other people's suffering. You stop finding joy in what once made you happy. You feel guilty for resting, and worst of all, you start resenting the very people you tried to save because you gave them your empathy but lost your identity. 7. How to protect yourself without losing your heart. Empathy is not the enemy. Lack of boundaries is. Here's how to keep your compassion without letting it consume you. Recognize emotional ownership. Say to yourself, their emotions are theirs, not mine. You can witness pain without absorbing it. Practice detached empathy. Care with understanding, not with fusion. Help without merging your identity into theirs. Set clear boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They allow love in but keep emotional chaos out. Learn the power of silence. You don't have to fix every emotion you witness. Sometimes presence is more healing than action. Refill before you pour. Empathy is energy. You cannot give endlessly without restoring yourself, through solitude, nature, art, or rest. Let go of the savior complex. You are not responsible for healing everyone. Sometimes caring too much prevents others from growing. Choose reciprocal relationships. Surround yourself with people who listen back, who give warmth as freely as they receive it. Real empathy flows both ways. Otherwise, it becomes a slow form of emotional erosion. 8. The transformation. When you finally learn to balance empathy with boundaries, something beautiful happens. You don't stop caring. You start caring wisely. You stop absorbing emotions you can't control. You stop apologizing for choosing peace. And you start seeing that empathy, when directed inward, is the purest form of strength. Because self-care, that isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. And only when your own cup is full can your compassion truly overflow, without drowning you in the process. You've been listening to Mind Code, where we decode the hidden layers of human behavior, one truth at a time.